No, don't start it.
Good morning, hello, welcome to Journey with Kevin. Today we'll be talking about...
Are you a talk about? So tell us what you're talking about. Wait. You're up, some man?
bloopers.
Yeah, damn bloopers.
Okay, never mind.
Okay, kiss me.
No, it's okay. Miserable. This is a calculator. I use it for school.
I don't have time to edit, you know. Good day, viewers, subscribers, family, friends, well-wishers. Welcome to another video on the channel Journey with Kevin and the family. Today, I just want to touch upon the topic how to budget and how to live within your means. I find that a lot of persons are not living within their means, and as a result, a lot of them have become bankrupt. A lot of them are going through a lot of depression due to unexpected financial problems because of not budgeting properly. For example, a person who is receiving a minimum wage of $10,000 in Jamaica versus a person who is living with a minimum wage of maybe $2,000 in Canada. You have to separate your expenses first before you start living a posh life. It doesn't make sense you go and buy a pair of shoes for $300 out of your $2,000 salary. Then you're going to have to pay your rent of maybe $1,200. Then you're going to have to pay your phone bill. So your rent is $1,200. Your phone bill is $100. You purchase a shoes for $300, you are already at $1,600. You only have $400 leave from that money. You have to pay your hydro. Your hydro might be $50, right? Then you're gonna have to pay money for your bus fare to get to work. Maybe $60 for your bus fare to get to work. Let's say $60. You're already at $1,710. You have to buy grocery for your house. Your grocery might be $300 for the month. You are already over your salary for the month of $2,000. You're already over by $2,010. You can't afford to buy another pair of shoes. You can't afford to buy a suit of clothes. You can't even afford to do your hair. There's some persons who would go and do their hair for excess amount of money and then they can't afford groceries, and this is why poverty has taken over the poor people even more. Yes, so I'm not just touching on the females, I'm also touching on the males, or I'm also going to touch on the males too. But for the females, I find that they tend to abuse money way more than men. For some reason, I find it that way. I don't want to sound sexist, I don't want to sound prejudiced, but I find that the females abuse money a lot more than men. Some of the females. However, there are a lot of men out there who are taking their money to buy these fancy stuff, fancy clothes, games, go to parties, drink, smoke, and all of these things. It doesn't add up. There's no way you're telling me that you don't have a job, but you smoke $50 worth of spliff for the week. You don't have a job, but you can smoke $50 spliff for the week in Canadian currency or in the US currency. You're in Jamaica, you don't have a job, but you smoke $5,000 worth of spliff for the week. That does not add up. $500 worth of spliff for the week. That does not add up. For a person who does not have a source of income, you can't afford to be smoking that much or drinking that much, because where will all your money go when you try to analyze at the end of the month how did you spend your money? Do you guys even budget though? Because I see a lot of you are just living carelessly, like living on the edge. Persons are taking vacations and borrowing money to pay for their plane fare. That does not make any sense. Because if you're going to borrow your money to pay for your plane fare, when you get to where you're going, you won't have enough money to even enjoy the vacation. And by the time you get back from your vacation, all the bills await you. I've seen people taking vacation and went to Jamaica and live posh while they're there. And they come back to Canada and they have no electricity. They have no this, no that. Their landlord is sending them notice. Their phones get disconnected, their internets have been disconnected because they use all that money to flaunt while they were on vacation. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe it makes sense to you, but it really doesn't make sense to me. So watch the rest of the video and you'll see I go more into depth about ways in which people can save and ways in which people can try to budget. I save from the little I earn because I was always told save for rainy day. If my salary is $1,000, I'm taking out 1/10 of that every month and I'm putting it aside. Every single month, I'm putting aside 1/10 of my salary. It's that 1/10 that way them always say you must give it to church. I give to poor people. People who are poorer than me, people who are less fortunate. There are times I'm here and people message me and say they're begging me at $50. If I never give away $50 last month, I'll give it to this person this month. If I gave away last month and I can't afford to give it this month, then I'll tell you no, I don't have it. I'm not going to bend backwards to give people money because I don't know what they're doing with my money. And I have to work too hard for it. I've seen, like, even in last month, 7 people were begging me money. And I look into myself and I'm like, even if I can afford to give the 7, I'm not going to give it. Because you don't know who is genuinely in need from who is not genuinely in need. And when I'm in need, it's very hard for me to ever message somebody and say, I'm broke, can I borrow $100? I'm broke, can I beg you $100? My ego will not let me do it. So I try to save ahead of time so I don't find myself in predicaments like those. And I wish if everyone would be like me, where they try to save money ahead of time so they can live sparingly. Try not to live from paycheck to paycheck. One of the things I do, and it has been working out for me for the past 39 years, I always have a month bill in advance. So now I'm in the month of November. I already have my December rent, light bill, internet bill, car payment, insurance, everything. Try to be 1 month ahead or 2 to 3 months ahead, different from your savings. Always try to have a few months ahead. If I wasn't doing that, I don't know how I would have managed it. Since March, I have not worked since March and all my bills are paid and I'm not feeling for money. I'm not hungry, I'm not stressed, I'm not depressed, and I have not worked since March. If I wasn't saving and budgeting properly ahead of time, I don't know how I would have managed. When I did my surgery, because I was planning to go back to work in August, regardless of the pandemic that's happening, but then my surgery came up and I wasn't able to work. And I'm still living within my means. My family is well taken care of. We're not hungry. We're still able to buy things and spoil each other while we're at it. So people, live within your means. Save when you can. Save for rainy day. You never know when it's gonna rain. So, yes people, live within your means. Whether you're a transgender, you're a non-binary, gender fluid, queer, male, female, no sexual, no gender, whatever it is your title or your gender is, live within your means. This video, I basically use 2 genders, male and female, because most of the statistics show male and female. However, I choose not to go with the statistics that heterosexual persons have been using based on their surveys and how they categorize us. So yes, so transgenders, you do also play a vital role in this budget because you tend to not do your plans or plan out your financial situation on a monthly basis. So we all go through the different experiences where budgeting or not budgeting properly is concerned. I see a lot of transgenders who I deal with from day to day are having dysphoria. They're having different type of anxiety because they are financially embarrassed, and they have a hard time asking people for help due to their gender, their identity, and their sexuality. Persons in the LGBTQ community, also not just transgenders, are having a lot of issues when it comes to dealing with their financial problems. I had a person message me recently asking for some financial help, and she's saying because she's not into men, it's hard for her to get by living in Jamaica because men wants to be inside her, whatever, up in our business. And because she's not about that life, she's attracted to women and only love women, then it poses as a hindrance for her to accessing money or certain jobs. She used to work at a bar, and because she's not into the things that the men want to have her participate in, because working at a bar, men flirt with you and they throw themselves at you and they want to buy you extra drinks so they can touch you up and all of that. Because she's not attracted to men and she's not entertaining them, then she's not making as much tip as another woman would do if she flirts back with them. So she had to quit the bar job, and now it's hard for her to find another job because she's not educated enough to get a job. And based on what's happening with COVID, a lot of places are not even hiring. So everyone out there is experiencing problems right now. So I would say to people, when you're in the jobs, if you're not in the job that you want to do, play along as much as possible. Play it safe. You're not into men, sometimes you have to tolerate it. Sometimes you have to just pick your battles. Whatever you do, just make sure it's safe to your mental space and your physical well-being, as well as your mental well-being and your emotional status. Alright. The advice I would give people who are working minimum wage: don't be making these sacrifices to go to these parties and spend all this money. A party once a month. You're partying 3 and 4 times a week. These people who you party with are the ones making the money. Yes, they're your friends and you want to support your friends, but you cannot afford to attend every party. So spell it out. You go visit one this month, you visit the next one next month, so you can put aside a $2,000 for party, a $2,000 for this, a $2,000 for that. You see the nice shoes, you want to buy the nice shoes, save for it. Save a 50 here, a 20 here, 100 here, 200 there, whatever you can afford to save, 1,000 or 2,000. When you're able to pay for that $300 shoes, if it takes you 6 months to buy that $300 shoes, live within your means and wait until 6 months to buy that shoes. Don't go and buy the shoes now and then you have to borrow money from your friends and from your neighbors. You have to owe your light bill, you have to owe your phone bill, owe your rent, messaging people overseas, begging money. Everybody is having a hard time right now where finances are concerned. Even the rich people are feeling it. Due to the pandemic and the outbreak of the COVID-19, everybody right now is feeling it financially. Even the stores are not making as much money as they would have made on a regular day or month due to the impacts of COVID-19. A lady wants to look good, do their hair, I understand. But your natural hair can look good just the same. There was a time when false hair was never a thing. Growing up back in the days, very few people was wearing false hair. It was never as important as now. These days, I see girls out there, they're not working, but their eyelashes on fleek. Their hairstyle is on fleek. Their nails are on fleek even more. But at the same time, these are the people who are in my inbox messaging me, Kevin, beg your $50, Kevin, beg your $100. How can you afford to do your nails and your hair, but you can't find food to eat? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. I haven't done my hair since maybe early part of September when Sheila came to do my hair. And it's not because I can't afford to do my hair. I'm not going anywhere. So what's the whole point in putting up fancy hairstyle for what? To stay home? To look nice to come on social media? Well, if social media can't take me and my ugly self without no nice looking hairstyle, then so be it. Stop living for people. Spigo and Tiffy, can you stop? These birds. Oh, I love these birds. You see, when I tell them to stop, they do listen. And the next time they don't. They just keep going and going and going. They're like my babies. So, for people who are trying to keep up with the Joneses and the Davises, stop doing it. Live within your means. You're gonna come on social media because you're gonna do a video. You have to put on makeup and eyelashes and hairstyle and whatever, but you don't have a job. Be true to yourself, be true to your pocket, and act your income, act your wage. Don't be out there scamming people, begging 10 people in the foreign countries, $50 from this person, $50 from that person, until you make enough money to do your hair and nails and whatever. I understand that a little self-care is good. During COVID-19, you don't want to be sitting at home and feeling depressed and looking ugly and sloppy and whatever. So you want to fix up a little bit and get all dolled up a little bit. Yes, I understand that. But still try to live within your means. Sometimes them hot girls, they would say them a hot girl. You have some files here that you've used before. Rewash them now. Reuse them now. Wash them and reuse them. Nobody on your social media knows that you've used it before. Wash it and style it up and use it again. Rather than having to spend a $15,000 and a $20,000 to buy Malaysian hair and what the next one name? Brazilian hair and all these things to look good for what? Are you going to work? Are you going to school? What's the whole point in dressing up? Makeup and eyelash and fleek, nails and fleek, and right, you're dying for hungry, your bills have not been paid, landlord out to put you out, light bill, not like you're scraping to find your light bill, you can hardly eat a good meal. Come on, people, we have to budget better. Don't try to be who you're not just to keep up with social media. Social media can make you and it can break you. It's up to you to choose which you want it to do to you or for you. As we speak about budget, you don't have to be working a bunch of money or a lot of money to make budget. Whatever your source of income is, try to budget and try to live within your means. COVID-19 has set back a lot of people in many ways. Mentally, financially, physically, emotionally, and you name it. All the different alleys, COVID-19 has set back people. But you have to be your own strength. You have to find strength on the inside to overcome your adversities. Whatever it is that you are faced with right now due to COVID-19, regardless of what your situation is, you have to try to weather it and go through it and come out as pure gold. Ride out your storm, whatever your storm is or whatever storms you are going through. For persons who you borrow money from other persons, loan agencies and so forth, you have to try to meet your deadlines as much as possible. Remember, people are taking the chance and the risk to lend you their money, expecting that you will pay back with interest so they can turn over. This is their source of income. You want to keep your credit history good, so when push comes to shove, you need another loan, then you can always go back to these people and these agencies to get some financial help ASAP. Because it's hard to get a loan right now due to what's going on. A lot of people are not working. So when you do find an agency that assists you, keep up with your deadlines as much as possible. As it relates to budget, persons have some expensive phones. Some 10,000, 20,000, like the iPhones right now in Jamaica, maybe are $50,000 for an iPhone. In Canada, over $1,000. And there are persons who would go out there and buy their phone cash just to keep up with appearance. Stop doing it to yourself. The $5 phone, the $10, the $15, the $500, or whatever the currency is. The point I'm trying to make is the price of your phone doesn't choose the type of phone calls that you get. They all can make calls, they all can receive text messages. If you're not able to send voice note, that's okay. There was a time in life when we never knew about voice note. So if your phone is not a touch screen where you're not able to send a voice note, the most important thing about a cell phone is that it can send and receive calls, and every phone should be able to text. So even if your phone screen is damaged, you can receive call, make calls on it, send out calls on it till you can afford a new one. What happened to the days when we never owned a phone? Some people, as soon as the phone screen cracked, them gonna buy a new one. For what? The phone screen crack doesn't mean you can't get a call on it. Enjoy the phone until it park. Wait until it's no longer able to be used. When it can't make no more call, when the ink run from left to right, and you're afraid that the glass from the phone or the splinter from the phone might start cutting your face, then you have to park the phone. That is when you should get to the point where you need to change your phone. There was a time when my phone screen cracked and I just buy a case and put the phone in and answer the phone through the case. There was a time when I had to put on the voice control on the phone, so I did not have to use my finger to touch the keypad to open the phone to make a call or to answer a call. Could I afford a phone? Yes. I could go and take out a phone. I had a credit card. I could go and get a phone from my credit card. I have a good credit history. I could go to the phone store and say, listen, I need a new phone. This one is broken. But I just decided to just use the phone until it wrecked. I used it till all the ink run out of it. And nobody knew, because I never had to tell anybody that, oh, my phone is broken, I can't send text message. If you text me and I don't reply, then that's just how it is. Call me. If you text me in 5 days and I don't reply, call me. And say I text you didn't reply, so well, because my screen is broken and I don't intend to fix it. Besides, I have my laptop, so I could always get my messages on WhatsApp from my laptop. I could always log into Facebook from my laptop. I just never cared to fix the phone until the phone went wrecked. And now I have like 3 or 4 phones in my house. Do I need 3 or 4 phones? No. Life has evolved. But at the same time, live within your means. I have 3 or 4 phones because I have a plan. Every 2 years when that plan is finished, I get a new phone and I keep the old one. So in most cases, I always send my old phone to Jamaica when I'm sending stuff to Jamaica. But I am living within my means. My bills are paid, thanks be to God. I'm not in any debt where any agency is practically looking for me or whatever, and I give thanks for that. But there are persons who can't even be online for too long because they're hiding from people. They're in certain places and they're like, I don't want that person to see me. They have to be blocking people left, right, and center because they owe these people and they don't want to pay up their debts. Come on, people. In times like these, we have to learn how to budget and live within our means. You don't want to be cooking oxtail on a Tuesday when oxtail is supposed to be a Sunday meal, because Kevin cooks oxtail on a Monday or a Tuesday means you should cook it on a Monday or Tuesday too. There were days when people could only cook rice and peas on a Sunday, and they have to eat tin food during the week or salsa food during the week. And these people turn out to be well-educated people and people who are financially stable now because they made sacrifices when they were younger. Their parents made a lot of sacrifices. A lot of people don't know what it's like to eat food without meat. A lot of us grew up like that. A lot of us had life hard when we were kids, and we used those experiences to make life better for us. There are kids these days, they wouldn't even drink some caramel porridge because they think it's gross. Tell them about Kellogg's corn flakes and frosted flakes, and that is their porridge nowadays. A lot of us couldn't afford those things when we were children growing up. But does that mean we're not healthy? Does it mean we never live a healthy life? Well, you be the judge. But I know I had a good life. I never go to bed hungry. Whatever I had to eat to go to bed, I eat it and I grace it and I bless it to be who I am and where I am today. So people, we need to budget more and live within our means. It doesn't make sense you go all out to buy Versace and Louis Vuitton and Gucci and whatever all those fancy name brands are, and then you don't have food to eat. Your kids are not getting the proper education. You have all this money wearing all these fancy clothes, but your child doesn't have a laptop or a tablet to do online schooling. Your child doesn't have access to a gadget to do online schooling, but you have all these fancy clothes and all these expensive wigs. Maybe you need to sell some of those wigs so you can buy the gadget or the devices that your children need to get their education. I understand life is changing and technology is changing, but you also need to change your brain space and the way in which you think. You can't be living a posh life and on the street, nails on fleek, hair on fleek, and eyelash on fleek and all these things, and your clothes will swag up, but your kids are not healthy. Your kids are not eating properly. Your kids are suffering from malnutrition because you only give them sugar and water to eat, but then you're on the road looking all fly. Take care of your kids. You bring them into this world. Give them the best care they need. You want to live above your means and rent the expensive place, because you want your place to look nice when you're on social media taking pictures. If I can't afford a condo, I'm not gonna put my hat where I can't reach it. And even if I can afford a condo, living in a condo doesn't mean the person is living a better life than me. Some people are living in condos and they live from paycheck to paycheck. But I'm living in an average apartment and I'm happy. I'm living within my means. It's not that I can't afford to buy a house or credit a house like people, but do I need that extra unnecessary expense? Buying a house now in Canada is easy because you can go to the bank and get a mortgage loan, and they buy the house for you and you pay them back monthly. The same amount of money I'm paying right now for rent could be going towards my mortgage if I was ready for a house. But what a lot of people don't understand is while you're paying mortgage, you still have to maintain the house. If anything is broken in the house, you may have to find time to fix it or pay someone to fix it. That is extra money out of your pocket. When you live in an apartment, anything is wrong with the apartment, you call the landlord and they pay to fix it. So owning a house is good, but wait until you're in the position to take care of all the responsibilities that comes with owning a house. It looks good seeing your name on the title, but when it snows and all that snow is packed up outside of the house, you have to go outside and clean that yourself. Or you have to pay the city or pay somebody to do it for you. When you live in an apartment, you don't have to worry about any of that. The landlord, the property manager have to make sure the walkways are clean every single day. The snow truck or the snow plows have to come and clean that. So as life changes, your circle changes, your mind frame changes, and yes, you wanna go up the ladder instead of going down the ladder. But my advice to people is don't run too fast. Because you run too fast, you may have to run 2 and 3 times. Live within your means and wait your turn. When you're at the satisfactory level that you can move up, then you move up. Don't be in a hurry to run too fast. Because sometimes you run too fast, like I say, you have to run twice, and it's okay. Mistakes happen. You buck your toe, you fall down, take your time and get up. Don't be in a rush to just jump up one big leap because you might unbalance and tilt over again. And the second time falling is worse than the first. But you know what I would say to you? Even though you have fallen, if you have fallen, there's only one way to go and it's up. You're already on the ground. You can't go any lower than you are. So anyone who's going through a financial situation right now where you're feeling like you're at rock bottom, it's okay to be at rock bottom. Life sometimes brings us there so we can refocus. The Lord sometimes slows us down when we're moving too fast. There's a song that says, Lord, if I'm too high, bring me down. Sometimes we're moving too fast and we're in the fast lane and everything is going good for us. And the Lord just decides to slow us down so we can rethink, refocus, regroup, and come again. If you try the first time and you fail, it's okay. FAIL means first attempt in learning. Try again. Never give up on yourself. Never give up on life. Life is too short. Make the best use of life while you're alive, but do so wisely. Until next time, this is another video on budgeting. Your boy, Uncle Kevin, Uncle Lobster, father figure, journey with Kevin. I'm a chip out right now because I'm trying to keep my videos shorter so the people can watch the ads. Thank you for watching. If this video means anything to you, leave a comment. Blow up the comment section. If there's anything that you learned, let me know. If there's anything that you disagree with, also feel free to let me know. Thank you for being a part of my channel. If you've not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe now.